Sandy Rios. Sandy Rios in the morning. It is in the morning, and she looks fresh, like she just did her. Did you do your program this morning?
Yeah, just got up
Did you?
here. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if you did it from here. Does AFA? AFA's not here, right?
I've come every year. I've been before I started with AFA, and so AFR Talk allows me to come, and I do it. I've been coming to CPAC for I don't know how long, Dan, but a long time, I'm thinking.
Yeah, I used to come all the time, and then I haven't come for about 10 years. It's the first time in about 10 years.
Yeah, well, so I don't even, honestly, I have no memory of when I started, but I just interviewed Matt Schlapp, Matt, who heads, which was wonderful, but I always love that. But the real treat, I had the head of CPAC for Japan.
Oh, really?
Yes,
that's cool.
and with his interpreter, and we had the best conversation about what's going on in the world. I asked him, what constitutes a conservative in Japan, and he just talked a lot about the monarchy and all kinds of stuff. But then when I asked him, I said, is it possibly, because conservative is defined politically differently in different countries, as you
absolutely.
well know.
Yes.
Like for Europe, the Conservative Party in England is very different than conservative.
Yes.
So he said it's a lot of it's national security, the threat from China. So we had a fascinating conversation about that. So that's what I just did. Yeah. It was fun.
So they have the threat from China, the threat from North Korea, who despises them, every fiber of their being.
Yes, well, so it's China. Yeah. This is, centuries-long rivalry, hatred between Japan and China, and you're right, the other countries there too.
Did they talk about? Did he mention anything about COVID in Japan and how that's impacting them?
I didn't even.
You didn't ask him.
Good.
That's good. Finally, somebody.
I did ask him. I said, "Are you having a problem with censorship in on social media in Japan?" And he said, "Yes." And then he's talking, and the interpreter's telling me, and then I asked him. He said he was just I was just knocked off YouTube. And I said, that really means you are a conservative.
Right.
We are kindred spirits. Yeah.
Well, we've been knocked off YouTube 3 times. We've gotten back on twice. We've not been able to get back on anymore. So
wow, feel bad. The former president can't get back on either.
Yeah.
Did you see that he's applying to get back on begging? Nice begging. That's you have to go through this committee, and it'll take 3 weeks for an answer for him to get back on Facebook. And they've taken him off Facebook, Instagram, and everything.
Yeah, I know. It's terrible. And we've gotten off Facebook a lot, but we've always get back on. We do the same thing, 2 weeks. I think it's 2 weeks. Yeah. Then you got to make your case, and then they put you back on. It's kind of a slap in the hand, thinking that maybe you'll be careful about what you say. So it's terrible.
We've got to. I don't. There's other alternatives, as you know, that are springing up, but that's not my expertise. I use them, but I'm not. And I'm really eager to find what's going to take its place. I don't know how Parler's doing after they've gone back on.
Yeah, you know what?
I'm on Parler.
So am I, but have you been able to get back on? I can't get back on.
Yes.
I can't. I don't know.
Well,
it must be me.
You may have to set up a new account or something.
Maybe, yeah. I haven't been able to get back on, but I got to do that. There's things springing up all over the place. There's new. We have a news outlet as well, but it's just everywhere you go. We're seeing conservative news, and now, of course, Congress has asked the cable companies to take Newsmax and
One America News,
One News Now, and what's the other? There was 3 of them.
One America.
News. I forget, but another one. They've asked them. You're not really going to put them back on again.
Yeah. There was a hearing on that yesterday, and I mean the sound bites from that hearing. I didn't get to watch it because we were in transit, but the sound bites are amazing. Soledad O'Brien, you'd got to hear this, Stan. She did it like a 2-minute riff. I got at least that much on how important it is not to book liars on television or on radio.
Gosh, are you serious?
And how important, we have to, like, disinformation. And then she ends it by saying, people trust they have to be able to trust us for the truth. And I mean, just the opposite of what she just laid out. She talked about if you don't have diversity in your news organization, you need to take care of that right now. Like as though that's the new moral issue for them.
It is.
And whatever definition they give to it. I mean, all of us believe we should have diversity, but not at the expense of we just have to hire people because they're good at stuff, not because of their color. I mean, that's where we resist But that's just a given to her, and it's immoral if you have any other choice. That you don't have quotas, for.
And the
whatever it is
pattern of everything the left says, what they're doing, started back, it's forever, but Barack Obama, pretty much everything he said, they were doing.
Yes.
Everything he accused us of doing,
Yes.
conservatives of doing, they were doing.
Yes.
And it continues on.
Yes, that's what the left does. It's a very clever device. Yeah, whatever they're, Now, I remember, I'll give you a classic example, Dan, because I remember this like it was yesterday. Everybody knows Russian collusion now, right? Because it's
Yes.
been such a huge deal, and it tore our nation apart. It tormented the president and cost millions and millions of dollars and on and on. But I remember the first time it came up. And it was Jay Johnson. I was watching him. He was the director of Homeland Security under Barack Obama. And there was an upcoming election, I don't remember which year actually. It must have been, 2016, I guess. And he was speculating about maybe we should federalize the elections. That's the first time I'd heard anyone say that, because we were concerned that the Russians might interfere. That is the first time I think it came out of anyone's mouth.
Never heard that.
And I remember at that moment, because I've been around the block and I've had a lot of experience with communists and the left, I thought to myself, he is planting a seed. This is going somewhere. I had no idea, where it was going or how big it would get, but they were dipping their toe in the water. They were sort of prepping us for that. They started that narrative then. Isn't that something?
It is.
And so they just keep saying it, and they took that. I don't know if it was Hitler or Lenin who said, if you tell a lie often enough, people believe it.
People believe it.
Yeah, so they do that. They do that.
Well, it is.
Then they accuse us of doing that.
Yeah, right, exactly. That's how we know they're doing it.
Yes,
because
exactly.
they accuse us. It is interesting because I did one of my master's theses on economics, on the economics of Mussolini. Now, Mussolini was Hitler's right-hand man. Hitler loved what
Benito.
Loved what he was able to do until Hitler got power. And then all the pictures after that, you see Mussolini in the background, no longer arm in arm. But, the whole notion of, what Mussolini despised with every fiber of his being was individualism.
Oh, yeah.
He despised it. He got ill.
Except for himself.
Except for himself. That's different. And
individualism with a capital I.
And he just despised it.
Yeah.
And what we saw through, people. So Yvonne and I are very active in Israel with Yad Vashem. We've been for years, and we go on their special envoys and do a lot of things with them. And one of the things that people always seem to forget about Hitler, people say all the time, how did all these brilliant people do what they did to the Jews? But he spent years minimalizing the Jews to make them nothing more than street rats. They were rats. And we are going to continue to see in a frenzy pace that exact same thing happening with Christians and the far left. They need to get rid of us in a desperate way.
No, you're spot on.